You may now join the debate.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. Deputy Presiding Officer, just allow me to get the podium. Thanks. Deputy Presiding Officer, allow me to close the debate with just two very important points. And also allow me to speak. I know you are the man of this house, you are the one in charge of the house. But I think I want to speak to the people of Tobago to let them understand, firstly, my position in taking up this appointment as Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy. I believe that for a time such as this, God saw it fit to place me here as a vessel, to be used by God to preside over the finances of Tobago and to drive the Tobago economy. And with the words that I started with in terms of professionalism, accountability, honesty, and transparency. And also, secondly, I saw this as a position of servanthood and sacrifice. But I want the people of Tobago to understand what I have been faced with. I've been faced with firsthand a situation of evil, a situation where I saw wickedness being played out firsthand, Deputy Presiding Officer, dealing with the central government and trying to get things that are justly due for Tobago. I just want to give a few examples. One of the first meetings I did try to set up when I came into office was a meeting with the Minister of Finance on behalf of the people of Tobago to get what is justly due to Tobago. And it was one of the most recent things that happened, and it was the oil spill, where Tobago was faced with an unfortunate situation which was unplanned and unforeseen, and we really didn't have any monies for that. The allocation to the Tobago House of Assembly was $2 million at the time for expenditure such as this. And we called on the Minister of Finance, we called on the central government to give us the finances to deal with this catastrophic event. I, as Chief Management Accountant, I worked with a team trying to determine what's the projected expenditure for this, because you know it's very difficult, but we lean on international experts to tell us what are some of the expenditures you should expect, because we've never had a situation like this. And in the end, we came up with $153 million. And of that, close to $100 million was for the cleanup efforts in Tobago. The actual expenditure at the time, up to today, is close to $70 million. And we have received only $50 million. And just as I'm telling you here today, Tobago, I told the same thing to the Minister of Finance. This is our situation. We were made aware that international bodies gave grant funding to Tobago for the oil spill. And the minister said to me, "You're not getting that. That's part of the $50 million. And I found that to be very unfair. Then we had the Hurricane Beryl that affected east of Tobago in such a significant manner. We were not ready for that. As I said, the allocation was only $2 million, which takes care of any disaster that happens in Tobago. We had utilized some of the funding because there were things that happened in Tobago prior to the oil spill, prior to Beryl. Tobago, I want you to know that there's an insurance that is being paid for Trinidad and Tobago for events such as these, upon which we can lean if we need to restore Tobago to the position it was before Beryl. You know what the minister told me? For about the $2.5 million owed to Tobago for Beryl, all ain't getting that. You just pay any premium. I find that to be real wicked, and I want Tobagonians to understand the kind of disadvantaged position that we are in here. And we are trying our best as an administration.
Again, 45-8, and this secretary continues to come in here and speak to conversations that the minister cannot defend himself, and 45-8 is clear, and she continues to do it over and over again.
Member for Darren Springwood, this is our budgetary prioritization exercise, debate, right, motion. And I'm saying to you that that affects the budgetary allocation for the island of Tobago. Continue, please, Councillor.
Thank you so much, Deputy Presiding Officer, and I wish to get my time back. That was just wasted. Thank you. Let's get away from the financial thing. So those are just two simple sets of monies that are owed to Tobago. In my first contribution, I spoke about the $176 million that is owed because of the shortfalls in allocation that we have been experiencing over years. But let me just talk about a simple matter that, interestingly, Dr. Faith and I spoke about yesterday, and it's about a non-objection letter. The Tobago House of Assembly, well, let me tell you about me as Secretary of Finance. We are trying to advance a Tobago Development Fund for Tobago. And in that, the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB, is saying to us, we can assist you with technical assistance to set up this fund. All you need is a non-objection letter from the Ministry of Planning. We have been trying painfully to get just a letter to say, go ahead, and they're refusing to give Tobago for the establishment of a fund that will advance Tobago's socio-economic development needs. This is what we face. And I want to tell Tobago the kind of unfair games that are being played out now, which I know will end very soon, because God don't sleep, and he don't like ugly. And there is so much more that I want to tell Tobago that is happening with this administration. And this is not doing me anything, it's the people of Tobago that are suffering under the hands of the People's National Movement.
Member, please allow the councillor to finish the presentation. Member? 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 I know you are exuberant, but please turn down the volume and please stay away from the crosstalk. Please. Councillor, continue with your presentation.
Thank you very much, Deputy Presiding Officer. So I believe that God has placed me as protection from squandering, frittering away funds, corruption, and today, in our experience firsthand, misleading the people of Tobago and telling them that I presided over a contract awarded to a contractor for over $180 million. That is misleading. That is not the truth, and I want to deal with that today. And I want to tell the people of Tobago that the gentleman on the opposite side, all he does is mislead Tobago with a lot of lies, half-truth, innuendos.
Councillor?
Please have a withdraw that statement.
I'm not sure what well, I can tell her the unparliamentary language, please.
My apologies, and I withdraw the lies. Can I say untruth? Because that is what it is. I heard this morning in the contribution for the member for, I don't know how we become a member, for Darrell Spring-Wim. Well, God placed me here. You will see.
Councillor, seated. Members, and I know we have been here for a long time. Some of us may be tired, and some of us may be relapsing in concentration. This goes to everybody. let us have some behavior and finish the motion, please. Please. Councillor, continue.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. So this morning I heard the contribution from the member on the opposite side saying that he used a term of washing, we should be washing money in the hands of the people of Tobago, particularly those in the tourism sector. You know what I did? I went to Google and I Googled, because I know what wash money is. Wash money is money laundering. And I want to tell the people of Tobago what is washing money.
Presiding officer, Mr. Deputy, I made no statement about washing. I did not use that word. So,
Member for Darrell Spring, Wim, I sat right here and heard you say that we should have been washing Tobagonians with money. I sat in this seat, and you can check it on my Hansard if you so wish, but you did use that statement, sir. I, Deputy Presiding Officer, is more than willing to do that because
Okay,
I'm
no
absolutely positive that I sat on this seat
Okay.
and heard you say that.
okay.
Thank you very much. And Member for Darrell Spring Wim, you are interrupting the councillor on too many occasions. Please, you were allowed to make your contribution. Please allow the councillor to make her contribution, please.
The standing orders provide for interruptions if there's for clarification, and I did stand on a
It
point
also
of
provides that,
order.
the presenter gave way. And I'm saying, please allow her to finish her contribution.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer, and I would like to continue by giving a definition of washing money. The definition of washing money is a term used for an illegal process of making money from criminal activity that appears to be legitimate. This member is encouraging this administration to take part in illegal activities because that is what he knows.
Putting improper motive on me, and I'm not going to accept
you
that.
said.
Please. That is
Member-
imputing improper motive.
Member for Darrell
I
Spring
never
Wim.
said
Mem-
I never said anything about washing money.
Member, please be seated and allow the councillor to finish her presentation. I already told you that if you go to Hansard and you did not use those words, what will take place? But I'm absolutely positive you did, and on such ground, I am going to allow the councillor to finish her presentation.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. I just want to lay on record that this administration would not be washing any money or doing any illegal activities, especially close to an election season. I just want to also raise an issue of the availability of foreign currency or foreign exchange that this country faces today, especially those in the tourism industry. And because I don't want to be interrupted and everybody is here and heard what he proposed to this administration on this side, and you know what I want to say? You know, we have an accountant, another accountant in this space. My dear friend on my right here is an accountant, but there's an accountant on the other side, and before I find that there should have been some nudging to say, no, stand down, because what you're saying there is not the truth in terms of the foreign exchange situation. Because I remember reading an article where a gentleman from the central bank was saying we should not be trading any foreign currency with your tantin and then friend because it's regulated by the central bank. But in Trinidad and Tobago, the forex management and regulation are primarily overseen by the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, which plays a central role in ensuring stability of the foreign exchange market. The central bank imposes limits on how much foreign currency can be allocated for specific uses. Know where to pick your fight down the road, not to us on this side. And I want to also ask if the minority leader, the member for Darrell Spring Wim, if he's asking this administration to carry out illegal practice of buying and selling US from tour operators. And I'm actually wondering if I should waste my time on any more rants that were made. But I want to do one more about Trinidad contractors in this space. And this one will be very short. There was a contractor, now turned minister, who enriched himself with many, many, many contracts under the previous administration. I want Tobagonians to do some investigation, go up in Castara by the fishing facility and ask who built it and ask if the person from Tobago. I'll leave that right there. If I hear the answer, I'll whistle. And finally, I would like to take this opportunity, Deputy Presiding Officer, to refute, discredit, debunk, rebut the misleading narrative and comments being spread here in this honorable house by the member on the other side of that I presided over a contract. I know the Chief Secretary would have dealt with that, the member for Petal-Ann for me, space, I dealt with it already. But because my name and fingers were pointed at me as being part of an evaluation committee that awarded a contract or something to the extent of over $180 million, I want to put on record that that tender process included a PPP arrangement for a housing development, and that the THA was only going to give the lands for that and also the applicants at the end of that arrangement. I would like to place the truth on record that the THA has not and will not spend $180 million on that project under a PPP arrangement. And the private partner provides all the capital needed to fund the project, and in return, the private investor recoups his investment through the sale of these housing units. Let me end and bring the curtains down on this motion. And I wish to thank all the members on this side for their meaningful contribution. And for those who have not gotten a script from principals somewhere outside of Tobago to come and read here, but for those who would have, Deputy Presiding Officer, I'm being interrupted, please.
Member for Darrell Springwood, I have spoken to you on many occasions, and I will not be speaking to you again. Councillor.
For a script that was written, edited, and sent to Tobago from Trinidad. This is my handwriting, huh? Yeah, it's me writing. It's me writing the script. I wish to give Tobagonians the assurance that notwithstanding all that I've said here, all the disadvantages and the fiscal constraints that we are facing, this administration remains steadfast in our commitment to develop Tobago into the greatest little island on the planet. As a relatively young mother, I think that it is an urgent duty to move Tobago to a better place than we met it. Our children must not be saddled with political battles or four parents fought, and that we are fighting now. Deputy Presiding Officer, in this regard, Tobago self-governance is fundamental to us. The issue is at the foundation of all financial, economical, legal, and political challenges confronting the THA and Tobagonians. It is our hope that the central government will remedy the numerous defects in the two self-government bills and stop playing politics with Tobago's development. For instance, Deputy Presiding Officer, there's nothing currently preventing the central government from allocating to the THA the 5.8% we requested or even more. It is important that all of us be reminded that both the current PNM administration and the opposition UNC prepared and laid constitutional amendment bills in the National Parliament proposing a minimum share of 8% and 6.9% of the national budget for Tobago. Respectfully, the internal self-government bills currently before the Parliament prescribe that a minimum share of 6.8% of the national budget must be allocated to Tobago, the THA. Deputy Presiding Officer, it is interesting, they all propose significantly higher share, than the 4.03% which the present central government, 4.3% that the present central government deceitfully continues to allocate to Tobago today. If this central government is serious about the bills, which the Prime Minister indicated would be up for debate in Parliament, they should demonstrate good faith and grant the THA the 5.8% requested as opposed to 4.3% they're giving now. This is what their Tobago agents and operatives should be selling Tobagonians and calling on their imperialist principles in Port of Spain to honor. Anything short of this is unacceptable and disappointing, and Tobagonians, you must reject them. Let me close by thanking again the Honorable Chief Secretary for his leadership, his support, and most importantly for affording me the opportunities to perform public service at this level. And also my colleagues and the members on this side, I want to thank you for the support of this motion as well. Deputy Presiding Officer, the journey so far has been very interesting and insightful. I also want to thank the team at the Division of Finance for their support as well. I eagerly anticipate the future with optimism and hope as we continue our steadfast mission to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. I thank you.